Okie doke. So, Julius is off doing whatever he's doing this week, beginning of his day. Ash, you find yourself in the middle of Raven Rock and you see a strange dropship. You've never seen one quite like it before. You see Sergeant Hamer has left his post. Lieutenant Maines come out of his office from hiding. You see the malfunctioning sentry bot pushing his arm into the where the refueling point for Pequod's vertibird would be. He's pushing it in, and there's no point because it's a different ship. So he's just sitting there pushing it in, saying error, error, error. And Dr. Contry is there, and they're all looking at the ship.
Do I know which trooper this is?
That would be click click. That is Jared.
Hi, Jared.
Yeah, what's up?
Do you know what the hell is going on over there to get everyone out like that?
And then he's sitting back in his chair with the feet up on this terminal, and he kind of sits up and looks. His eyes light up. His mask was off because he was kind of napping. What is that?
That's what I'm wondering.
No clue. Let's go find out. Grabs his lancer and walks
Walks up with him.
Lieutenant Maine has his helmet off. He's scratching his bearded chin. Dr. Contry is, And Sergeant Hamer is just staring at the ship with his head tilted.
Master Sergeant? Lieutenant? Doctor?
Oh, hey!
What in the world is going on here?
Dr. Contry puts up a finger in the air. This is a UD-4. Lieutenant Maine kind of, huh? Hamer looks at her. How do you know what it is? It's a UD-4 Cheyenne dropship. And how do you know? Well, I served on one for a brief period of time. Rangers used Rangers, and they kind of step back from the ship, and it's no harm. Rangers use these, exclusive to the EarthGov Ranger brand.
Would Ash be familiar with Rangers in concept at this point?
You've seen two of them. You've never asked any NPC what they were, or who they are, or why. She guides Thomas to the refueling port. She knows where it is. She's spent some time on one before. And he puts it in, and correction.
Now that you mention the name, yeah, I have seen a couple Rangers around here before. I wonder what they're here for.
This guard here, or EarthGov trooper, speaks up. That's right. There was a couple of them back a couple weeks ago. They came to get some prisoner or doctor person you captured.
Hey, I mean, whatever it is, it must be a big deal because, well, if they're going to give her to them instead of us, they're obviously very well equipped.
Dr. Contry, the landing ramp is down. Dr. Contry walks aboard, comes back with her hands out to her side. Odd. There's nobody on board. Usually these things have at least a small platoon of Rangers.
Wonder if the commander knows what's going on.
Could be. You could go check in her office, and then you hear over in your helmet, you hear Commander Integra say, Ash, grab Julius and come to my office, please.
And, well, speak of the commander, just called me.
Ranger dropship. They both kind of walk close. Never seen a Ranger dropship up close.
It is a beauty, although for our purposes I like Pequod and Haverty. Smaller. Alright, make my way down to Julius. Walk up kind of quietly and bang, 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 bang on the door.
I'm gonna say, since he heard it in his helmet, that he's already in it.
Alright, looks in. Damn. Alright, get him next time. Gets in.
Okay. So Julius, you've come in to the room. And Ash has just come in as well. Now, you come into an interesting sight. Pequod is holding a warm steamed potato, and she hands it to a rather attractive looking, I'll put some images in squads if I can find the full 6, please, and thank you. Again, these images are just to guide you. You can imagine whatever you like, with the exception of the rifle. There's some reference images. She has a rifle. It looks old, and it's a bolt-action rifle slung across her back, and the bolt it juts out. It's not like a clean bolt action like you see on sniper rifles in today's world. It juts out to the side, extended grip. She's small, petite, redhead, very cute looking girl in all black armor, just like some of those reference images. And Pequod hands her a potato and she shoves it in her mouth. And Commander Integra watches inquisitively, watching her eat. She turns to you as this girl is just shoving her mouth full of potatoes. The sniper rifle definitely catches your eye, Ash, as well as she has a BR-77 assault rifle, a couple handguns, and a couple knives adorned across her combat harness. And Pequod sees you guys come in after she hands her the potato and laughs, watches her eat it, and she says, "Oh, nice of you guys to show up."
Oh, nice to be here.
Isn't that hot?
She's talking with her mouth full, and she swallows it, and she says, "No, not really. I can handle it. Give me another one." Pequod has what looks like something that steams food, like a lunchbox. She pulls out another one, takes it, shoves it in her mouth. Commander Integra looks at her inquisitively, walks down in between you guys. I'm a little dubious on this fact myself, but this is Ranger Cadet, that's right, EarthGov Ranger Cadet Sasha Beerus, gentlemen. I'd like to introduce her to you, and she steps aside so you both can move in to shake her hand.
Shakes her hand.
She shakes your hand, gives you the stupidest smile in the world, but it's definitely very cute. Does the same to Julius. Pequod flips her another potato. Commander Integra moves back up onto her raised portion where all her computer screens are and stuff like that. Well, Ranger Cadet, it's your show, so take it from here. Pequod puts her hand up in the air. Me and Sasha know one another, actually. We're good friends. We went to boot camp together. I went off to pilot school, and she went off to marksman school. Sasha swallows the next potato, says, "That's correct. And today, I've come with a proposition for you two, if you're interested."
Well, what's the proposition?
Nice. By the way.
As per Ranger training, once you complete the trials, physical training, 6-month period, one has to go on a mission. And this mission is given to you by Ranger General Lorelei. She's tasked me. She pulls up a little communicator device or something on a wrist computer, a galaxy map. She's tasked me with investigating this small moon on Pluto. Small moon of Pluto. It's called Pixis. She points at it. There's an island here. It's a small planet. It's been terraformed. Apparently there's an island here surrounded by a maelstrom. She would like me to do a joint operation and or JSOC with another organization. In this case, hopefully you two. Another stupid smile as Pequod hands her another potato. And we can go together and see what it's all about.
Is it just checking the moon out, or?
Checking the island on the moon out. There's a small EarthGov settlement, couple houses, some farmers beginning to plant and terraform on the planet, and there's this mysterious island with a maelstrom surrounding it. Commander Integra kind of steps down, puts her hand out to both of you. This is your choice. This is not an order from me. If you wish to go with her, obviously it will reflect well on your combat records and your dossiers. But I cannot and will not force you into this. This is Ranger business. And she steps back up onto her podium, and Pequod puts up her thumb and says, "One way or another, I'm going, because I have always wanted to pilot a Cheyenne." And Sasha smiled.
I've got no reason to say no. It sounds like a good time.
Really? And she shoves a potato in your mouth.
Oh, man. Kind of pulls it out.
It's extremely hot.
Pulls it out even quicker than I thought he would have. Yeah, I'd happily come with. Seems like fun. I mean, we don't have any other missions lined up, so good use of time. Help another EarthGov member out and get some work in.
Pequod and her high-five one another, and she leans into you and gives you this is where it catches you off guard. She hugs you, and it is like bear hug mode hug. She is incredibly strong for such a small-framed individual. And she is hugging the life out of you.
Okay. Julius, what do you think?
I mean, other than Integra saying that for probably legal reasons, I'm fine with it.
Pequod smiles at Julius, walks up to him, and gives him a kiss on the cheek. Excellent. Well, let's go make launch preparations. This will be the first time these two leave planetside. Sasha turns around, looks at Pequod, looks at you guys. Really? You've never been to space?
No, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Well, let me tell you something. She puts her thumbs up. Space is the place. And then she does a backflip and goes out to the dropship, and Pequod laughs and follows. Commander Integra watches them leave with her hands behind her back, turns around and looks at both of you. I can't believe that woman is a ranger. And she chuckled.
Yeah, well, would you believe we're headhunters?
Yes, I would. I am surprised the Ranger General selected her to be a ranger. But obviously, she sees something I don't.
Gotta have some crazy skill to use a rifle like that, ma'am.
She goes over to her computer. It'll take time for them to prep the dropship. You are correct in that. She types on her computer, pulls up her dossier. You see, and this will give you a little backstory on Pequod as well. Pequod enlisted in the Marines. You've seen one EarthGov Marine back in Squad Sigma. They look like SWTOR troopers, right? You can kind of infer maybe these two as well, if you look at their tokens. She enlisted in the Marines, as well as your pilot, Pequod. They were friends. But that young Ranger cadet most definitely has skills with a rifle. Top of her class in marksmanship, went on to be a Force Recon sharpshooter. No easy feat to achieve. Still, though, her disposition is strange.
I
I bet you're jealous, Ash, as he's facing away from both of them to hide his raging blush that he has.
Alright, lover boy. Alright, ma'am. Is there anything else you need us to do before we prepare to go?
She closes the dossier. No, just be on guard. The General Lorelei giving her this mission. It won't be easy. Ranger cadets, Private Valorius, have to complete a mission to become full-fledged Rangers. I'm sure there's more going on here than she or we know.
Understood, ma'am. I will keep an eye out.
Come back in one piece, both of you.
Alright, I'll make sure both of them come back alive, ma'am.
Thank you. Dismissed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Grab his armor. Come on, lover boy.
Yeah, let go. Let go.
Just keeps pulling him.
So you guys board the ship. Everybody bids you adieu, farewell, and good luck. And boom. You're on the ship. It's taken off. You can see out the portholes and stuff like that. Pequod punches in some coordinates. The cockpit is almost, you can pick up on it even though you're not pilots. It's pretty similar to a vertibird cockpit, which is why Pequod can so easily navigate it and control. You take off, you hit, fucking whatever the escape velocity of the planet is. I'm sure that's jarring to you. And then you're floating in space and you're on the deck. Pequod's in the pilot seat, Sasha's in the co-pilot seat, and you guys are right behind them. And Pequod says, we should be there in 2 hours. She hits a button and puts the ship into autopilot. And she pulls out her potato heating thermos thing and opens it up, and they begin feasting in front of you.
Ash is gonna go over, and there's a window right here, right?
Yep, tons of.
Walk over and stare out at it. Never really thought I'd get to see him this up close.
If you look out to the right, you'll see Gateway Station, and you see it for the first time.
I don't know, looks pretty useless.
It's pretty cool there. Sasha swallows half of her potato. It's pretty cool there. I like it there. Maybe one day you'll get to go. The food isn't that great, though.
It's magnificent.
What, not potatoes?
Well, I like any food, but potatoes are just what me and Pequod used to eat all the time back in basic. Yeah, that's right. potato, and she flips a hot one to Julie.
He catches it in his hand with him used to having fire in his hands and takes a bite of it.
What do you think?
Tastes like a baked potato.
It's pretty good.
Ash kind of snaps out of his looking at wonder at the giant-ass space station. So, Sasha, what's your story? I know you and Pequod were in boot camp together, but something must have changed because you went on quite different paths.
Well, I didn't test that great on the academic test, Ash, and she kind of gives another dumb but cute and warm smile. I didn't test that great. I'm no scholar. However, I'm good with this. And she pulls the rifle. It was like sitting down beside her chair. She pulls it up and she presents it to you. I'm good with this.
May I? And motions to pick it up.
Sure, come on over.
All right. Picks it
Rifles come natural to me.
up. All right, let's see. Picks it up, puts it to his shoulder the same way he would have, the rifles, the single-shot rifles he's used to, and just feels it. Sees how it feels.
It feels... It's heavy in all the right places. Light in all the right places. It's the perfect counterbalanced firearm.
Now this is a beautiful piece. Oh, I get the feeling I could hit something. I get the feeling I could, maybe break some records with this thing.
You probably could. 2 Rangers on Gateway helped me make it. They own a store. JD and Buck, their names are.
JD and Buck. Well, I hope to meet them someday, because if they can make something like this... I had plans for something like this drawn up, but this is magnificent.
I think, as she bites into another potato, Pequod pulls out a croissant and hands a croissant to Julius, the bread. She says, Sasha, she says, I come from a small colony in a place called the Ripper System. When I was a kid, growing up on that colony, it got attacked by the UIR. I'm not sure if you've heard of them before being headhunters. And she waits for your response.
He's heard of them. We've talked about him before, I'm pretty sure.
Terrorists, essentially.
Terrorists attack Earthgov for no real reason.
Well, one branch of the Rangers are called Frontier Rangers, puts up her finger. And their job is to explore unexplored planets and protect small to medium-sized EarthGov colonies until the colony gets big enough to where it warrants a battalion of troopers. Our colony came under attack from UIR terrorists. 4, she puts up her hand, 4 EarthGov Rangers held off 50 UIR insurgents for 12 hours. If you can believe that. And Pequod nods her head.
So why have anything else other than Rangers in the army?
They only take the best. And after I watched them hold off those insurgents, I've always wanted to be one. And that's how I ended up here.
Ash wouldn't have his helmet on at this point. She's got a dumb smile. Now that's something to strive to be, I'd say. Well, see, you and I have a similar taste in firearms at that. If we're being honest about our scores, I did piss poor with automatic weaponry. I've always preferred single shot. Makes you pick your target a little better.
Fair enough, as she pulls half of a croissant out of her mouth. Fair enough. I heard you're good with pistols. The reason I heard about you guys is you come recommended from Major Lazuli. And Pequod's jaw hits the ground.
Julius does a spit take. What?
That's right, you came recommended from Major Lazuli. She looks puzzled. Why do you guys look so confused? She recommended you to General Lorelei for my mission. That's how I found you guys.
But she hates us. Right, Ash?
No, she hates me. She quite likes you.
I don't know. With how she talks about me, I think she hates me all the same.
Pequod cracks open a can of soda.
Maybe it's an act. Like she said, she's got to be tough on us. I'll take that. If someone like Lazuli thinks we're good enough, then I guess we're doing something right.
She pulls out what looks like a journal. And she says, "By the way, I forgot to get Commander Integra to sign this, but you guys want to sign my scrapbook?" And she opens up a journal with a bunch of signatures and legit Polaroid photos. And she pulls out a small, old Polaroid antiquated camera. Pequod's already signed it, and you can see the front page of the journal. There's a picture of a very young Pequod. She is young, but this is like minus 4 years for her. And Sasha in basic. At a place called Paris Island. They're standing in front of the sun.
Gladly. He's gonna bend, sign it.
Hands it to Julie.
He looks up at Pequod, back down at the picture. Sure, I'll sign it. And he signs it.
Pequod wearing her Marine Corps tank top.
You getting a little red about the cheeks there, Julius?
Do you want me to kick your ass?
Hey, you're the one who'll get in trouble for it, not me.
I'll tell Saris about you looking at that rifle like you should be looking at her.
Hey, at least I'm not looking at another girl.
Leans into Pequod. Is Saris the vampire? Yep. Got it.
In fact, what did you learn to shoot on? I'm curious.
A rifle similar to this.
Oh, that's lucky on your part. I learned how to shoot on a pepper box.
Pepper box? Strange choice.
Pardon me, my memories of the time are a little foggy. But, best I can remember, I grew up on a very low-tech, independent colony.
Pequod leans into her. He's the airship guy. And she kind of...
Yes, I've seen an airship. What of it? I learned how to fire on very, very antiquated weaponry, but I guess it made me appreciate how reliable these are and pulls out the Colts even more than I already would have.
Those are nice.
They are. Though I've always preferred revolver-style weaponry. Slower rate of fire, but reliability can't be beat.
Well, you can update old firearms to modern standards. Pull the bolt back on my rifle there.
Okay, pulls it back.
And you see it's glowing a very light purple, indicating it's a phased barrel. JD and Buck spared no expense for me.
That's a good idea. Wonder what someone like that would be able to do with the old pepper box.
Anything you want. Just takes time. And of course, they have to like you. Foreshadowing the events of the Rangers not liking Ash.
Well, I'm sure I won't do something that stupid to make people hate me that much.
I don't think you will. Hand you a potato.
Thank you. I'm gonna carefully start eating it.
So the mission details are pretty simple. There's a small colony. We can't land the vertibird on this island. The foliage, she pulls up a 3D map of the island, and huge ass trees, even though the maps might not accurately represent it, but huge. There's nowhere for this dropship to land, and you can't land it in the water. You can't. So you gotta land it on the mainland somewhere. We have to land it on the mainland somewhere. We'll go to the small colony. Scans indicate they have boats. We'll see if we can rent a boat or get somebody to take us. We'll pay them. I have money. You guys don't have to pay anything. And from there, we'll go to the island. And God willing, we won't flip over when we go into the maelstrom. The maelstrom surrounding the island only reaches out about 4 miles. So 4 miles on a boat, we'll probably flip. I hope you know how to swim. And she smiled.
I can swim, can you, Julius?
He nods.
Should be fine. Nothing about the island itself, no scans of what we might encounter or anything?
There is a facility on the island, and she points it out to you. There's a facility and roads. They're man-made. They have to be. You can see them clear as day. Looks like 4 or 5 large buildings.
So,
No other scans of like wildlife or anything?
No, drones that can scan for wildlife, plant life, stuff like that, when they go through the maelstrom, they usually short out. These scans come from satellites. That's why they're so not detailed.
Okay. Are there any records of EarthGov having facilities on that island?
No. No EarthGov citizen, as far as I know, has set foot on this island until a few years back when it was terraformed, and now there is this small farming settlement there.
Okay, so no information on what wildlife we might encounter, and a mysterious facility that was built by someone other than EarthGov.
Most likely. Unless it's pre-Calamity War, but I doubt that.
That's true. Why would they be on Pluto?
Moon of Pluto.
Moon of Pluto, sorry. Yeah, I don't know. It's certainly interesting.
She sees you holding the rifle, playing it, running your hands up and down it. How would you like to use that? In case we run into any trouble. And she winks.
Are you serious?
Why not? She throws you one magazine. It loads at the bottom. Or at the top, excuse me. A 5-round stripper clip of phased bullets.
Okay.
Why not?
If you're alright, I wouldn't mind at all. Feels, terribly well balanced, but I'm sure I'll get used to it.
8d8 damage. Range is unlimited.
Alright.
She says, note the fact, and she puts her hand in front of the barrel, and the scope on it flips down. Note the fact that if something gets in your face, you don't have to rely on the sights are zeroed, the iron sights are zeroed for close combat.
Oh my, this is very nice. I appreciate this. I'll make sure it gets back to you in one piece.
Sure. Have fun with it. As Pequod hits the thrusters, you make your way to the planet.
What type of damage should I put?
I would just put fire. Yeah, I would just put plasma actually, if you would be so kind.
8d8, there we go.
And you find yourself here at the village. Pequod leaves the dropship. As you guys are leaving the dropship behind you, she comes out with Makarov, restored Makarov drawn in her hand, and she says, I'll be coming along on this one to keep an eye on you, boy.
Alright, tribal chief. Just be careful.
She pounds her chest 3 times, clan leader. Sasha looks at her and imitates her doing it, not understanding why she's doing it.
Oh, God, don't encourage her.
Let her have some fun. Alright, just be careful of the Makarov. Don't want it to get busted again, clan leader.
Yes. Puts the Makarov in her holster on her hip, and she looks around the village and says, all right, well, let's find somebody.
Alright.
Sasha goes knocking on this door. Pequod stands back, arms crossed. Clan leader, Overwatch. Julius, go first. And gestures him into the village.
To the building Sasha is knocking at?
Yeah, any building.
Alright, he'll just go in the one that Sasha's.
She knocks on the door. You come and open the door. Nobody home.
Alright, goes over here to try.
Door is left open.
Peeks in.
Nobody home.
There's supposed to be people here, right?
Pequod stamps her foot on the ground. I don't have time for another one of these suspicious alien hunter interloper missions. Comes into the middle of the village, pulls out a megaphone. Hello! Screams into it.
Oh, Pequod, that's a very bad idea.
And you hear, ah! And an old man comes out of this house, and he's old. Like he's walking with a cane hunched over. What are you doing here? Who the hell are you?
We're with EarthGov.
Oh, Oh, you don't say, young man. He tries to stand up straight, humpback old guy. You don't say. Oh, staggers over to you. Oh, it appears I've missed something important. Everybody else went out for the day to farm. What can I do for you?
There's an island somewhere over yonder, with a maelstrom around it.
Oh, yeah.
Checked it out.
Oh, really? Sasha comes up. Yes, sir. Official ranger business. He looks at her. Well, hello, pretty young thing. And she smiles at him. Pequod offers him a potato. No, thank you. I'm watching my starch intake. Boat, you say? Let me see. Well, we do have a crab. And I'm going to get you the... This is literally what it looks like. I don't think it's going to show because of... It looks like shit. Let's just put it that way. You know what? Hang on.
Oh.
See it? This is literally what it looks like. It's a small fishing boat they've put together over time just to go out to fish to have something different to eat besides, what they farm and wildlife that they bring in, like eggs and stuff like that.
You think that thing will be okay going through the maelstrom?
Maelstrom. There's nothing on that island. Or at least, I don't think there is. Why would you want to go there? Official ranger business? Eat this baguette? Oh, yes, I can toast this. I don't know if it will be okay. Take your chances.
Troy. All right.
Pequod looks at the boat. It beats swimming. Come on. And she storms off to the boat.
Could be worse.
Sasha offers him money. No. I couldn't take money from a young beauty like yourself. I'll be here waiting. Just bring the boat back, even if it's in pieces. And he goes back inside. And as you're walking by, as soon as he closed the door, you heard a thud of him sitting down, and he's back to sleep.
Well, I suppose it could be worse. I've seen rickety rowboats.
Sasha gets on the boat. Does this thing even have an engine? Pequod looks around. No. Well, how are we going to... Oh. Rows. Sasha picks one up. Pequod crosses her arm. I'm not rowing. And she looks at Ash and Julia.
Alright. Could be worse. Hey. Lazuli hasn't been training you for nothing.
Sasha picks up an oar and says, I'll help row as well. Pequod sits in the small little cab, captain's cab, and she sits down in the rickety old chair they have in there.
As he's getting situated, he's muttering to himself, "No, I'm not gonna die by a drake or this freaky alien thing. No, I'm gonna die by a damn boat."
It could be worse.
So you row out, and it takes a fair while because you're rowing against the current for the most part. Takes a while. Island is in sight. Pequod comes out of the cabin. I guess that's it. And Sasha says, yes, the only island with a maelstrom. Pequod walks out, puts a potato in her mouth so she can eat while rowing. Okay. Any last words? Pequod goes back into the cabin.
Worse ways to die, I suppose.
Pequod comes back out with a life preserver, puts it on Julius. It's very old. Looks like it won't work, but she puts it on him anyway. Good luck! And goes back into the cabin.
She really has taken a liking to you as much as you have to her, Julius.
Yeah. Bank.
You guys go into the maelstrom, and once you pass the dark clouds and imagine lightning strikes all around it, the seas are churning, and the boat manages to stay upright for the most part. And you can see what just seems like land. You can see a sand line, a beach line, and then the boat flip. And lucky for you, you'll find yourselves, this is why the token was upside down, stranded on the island now. You two come to, oars still in hand. Pequod's sitting between you two, drying herself off, and Sasha looking around at the tree line.
Everyone okay?
Sasha turns around. I think so.
Good. You make it all right, clan leader?
Wet.
Better wet than dead.
Not like to be wet.
Neither do I. Not fond memories.
Pequod picks Julius up. Get up.
He just sits up. Thank you, clan leader. It honors me. And he stands up.
And that is why I like you, Julius. She pushes you forward. I'll stay in back, pounds her chest.
Good plan.
See her panic for a second, making sure her Makarov's still in the holster. Oh, thank God.
You know, it might be a good idea to find something else to bring on missions where it might get lost.
This is an heirloom, idiot! And she hits you in the back of the head with it.
Exactly. That's why you don't want to lose it.
Everybody in my family carried this into combat. Sasha walks ahead and puts up her fist and goes, shh. And it's raining and storming. And she goes, shh. She shushes everybody. Pequod stops. Pulls up the route on her computer, her wrist computer, the holographic layout of the island. And she says, it's that way. She points up here. And she draws her BR-77 without saying anything. Battle rifle from Halo is a BR-77.
Alright. Let's be careful.
Ash, do you have ammo for that shotgun?
Yes, I do.
Stow my rifle for now and equip the shotgun.
That's what I was thinking.
Take point with Julius in the back and Pequod in the middle.
Yes, ma'am.
And so her demeanor shifted from her goofy persona to rather serious. And she stands behind Julius without announcing why she's standing in the back.
Alright. Want me to start walking, ma'am?
Yes, slowly. She types something on her computer. Follow the roadway.
Begins to follow the roadway.
What she typed on the computer was just transmitting the route she wants you to follow.
Okay. Starts following the route.
So you follow the roadway for quite a while. And you find yourselves here. The roadway ends. Oopsie. The roadway ends, and it breaks off into a dirt path that looks like four-wheel vehicles have been on. This whole time, without perception checks, you see Sasha is bending over onto one knee, picking up dirt, and she's smelling it against her nose. Not putting it to her nose, but she's sniffing it and looking around into the tree lines. Pequod has the Makarov drawn, but her back is pretty much right against Julius's chest.
How old do the tracks look?
You know what? Roll something, because that's a good question. Pequod backs up against Julius without realizing, and I didn't see you there. Better clan leader stay close to you for your sake. And she points at him.
He looks away and rubs the back of his neck. I don't mind. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Sasha walks up again, picks up some more dirt. You see she's got an eyebrow raised, and she's just scanning the tree line. The tracks look. They look old. They look, even with a 9, like it. This path, you can barely tell it's been beaten out by vehicles. That's how old.
Okay. So probably months, if not years.
We're talking years. Yeah.
Doesn't look like anyone's driven a vehicle down this recently.
Strange that the road ends. It points up here.
That it is. You seeing anything, Sasha?
She sniffs some more dirt, scans the tree line. No. Not yet. Rain pounding the ground. I guess it's more like mud she's sniffing. But rain pounding the ground. Not quite yet. She gets up, keeps looking into the tree line with her rifle.
keep going?
Yes.
Alright.
She slings her rifle on her back, pulls out a flashlight, shines it into the foliage, hangs it in a certain place for a second, clicks it off, puts it away, pulls her rifle back out. Same formation.
Understood.
She falls back behind you guys. You fall back into your same formation. And again, this is all here. There's a waterfall, a drop, some type of man-made bridge, but it's raining, and there's tons of... Was I drunk when I put you guys on the board? Jesus Christ. Oh, no. You actually need to be here. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so, and you find yourselves here. Sasha's still way in the back. You crossed the bridge because you're brave. It looks very ragged. I mean, this place has been covered with a storm for years, so it's a rickety old bridge, but you're getting across fine.
Okay.
This waterfall is hundreds of feet. The drop below you.
Okay.
You see Sasha moves over here, picks up some more dirt. Pequod walks behind Julius. You next, clan leader, order you. She's kind of pushing him.
Oh, you don't want to cross with me, clan leader?
No. I don't think that bridge can support both of you. Ash, get across quickly.
Gets across as quick as he can.
Okay, you next. Okay, so as Julius gets right here, Ash is across. Julius gets right here. You hear ruffling coming from right here of foliage and heavy foot. Something heavy's feet are hitting the mud. You hear the mud kicking up. Maybe Julius isn't akin to picking up these things, but Ash is. And Ash would be on edge from the encounter a few weeks back with the fabled space hunters. From the tree line, and this thing comes crashing out before you can do it. And you'll know what it is, but you don't know what it is as characters. This creature crashes into Pequod. She yelps in horror, and it bites down onto her left leg, and it lets out the quintessential raptor snarl, and Pequod screams, and it digs its mouth into her backpack. She wears a backpack just like her image, and it starts ripping the backpack off. And as I'm sure Ash is raising the gun, Julius is on the middle of the fucking bridge trying to play this deadly game of getting across the bridge. Pequod's screaming. You can see Sasha here. She's moved here at this point. You see her eyelid twitch for a second, and then it looks like something just snaps at her, and you can't even see. She underhand pitches a machete into this thing's side, and it lets out a screech of pain, and she tackles it. And they go rolling off into the depths of the waterfall. Pequod is screaming at this point. In pain and terror, because her friend is probably dead.
Ash just to Julius, get the fuck over there and help her. I'm gonna go see if I can find Sasha.
He's already running.
Julius, you don't gotta roll anything. You've seen the outlines of these creatures. Your eyes can pick up the aesthetics. You see the tops of tail coming from this tree line, and you hear strange pong, pong sounds, almost as if they've been stalking you the whole. Ash, they went down the waterfall. You saw them go down. You saw them hit the water. There was a big splotchy trail of blood where they hit, but you haven't seen them surface. And the waterfall, just like this image, it just goes away for miles.
Shit, this is bad. They're all over on this side with them, right?
Yes, and once to give you an indication. Julius's best estimations of how many tails he can see poked up from the tall grass and the foliage, snouts, and you can see their nostrils emitting, like, when it's cold outside and raining, you can see your breath. You see tons of them.
Get over here now, I've got a stupid plan.
Alright, he's going to take his scarf, quickly wrap it around her leg where the puncture wounds were at, tie it as tight as he can, pick her up, and say, "Oh, hey, Pequod, it's all gonna be okay. It's all gonna be okay, baby."
She is fighting you because she does not want to leave her friend. She begrudgingly follows you across the bridge because you've picked her up, but she's fighting the whole way. And she starts screaming, "Do something!"
We will, but first we need to make sure we live long enough to help her, as he pulls out his knife and starts cutting the bridge.
Good enough. You cut the bridge, it falls down. These strange creatures come out of the tree line, and you see more behind them. And they are watching you with great intent. As Pequod is elbowing and fighting Julius with everything she's got to jump off the cliff. Which should indicate how good of friends they really are.
Ash is gonna grab Pequod by the face. We'll find her, but right now we need to make sure we are alive, okay? We're gonna follow the river until we find her, alright? You jumping in there's gonna get you killed, and she would not like that, would she?
As you say that, you see this one come up, and he draws his tail in the sand, and he starts sniffing around, and he makes noises to the other ones, and you see them start to disperse in this direction, almost as if they're backtracking, looking for another way around. And they will find one if there is one.
Let's get out of here, alright?
Yeah.
Looks at her, okay?
She is distraught. She's not gonna respond.
Alright.
She's fighting Julius the whole way.
Alright, pick her up. We have to go. Those things are... I think they're hunting. Let's go.
You have the coordinates to the facility, and it's not far from where you are. It's around this cliff face, about a half a mile's walk around this large cliff face that follows this water line.
Alright. Alright, I'll lead. You keep her in between us. Got it?
She's crying, beating on Julius. I think Julius is strong.
Julius completely understands why she's beating him, and he's like sort of petting her head, comforting her as best he can.
As you guys make your way around the cliff face, you still hear the sounds of the classic Velociraptor sounds, which probably are not scientifically accurate, but either way, they're cool. They never get distant. They're still close. They know this island like the back of their hand. And you can definitely infer, at least Ash. I don't know if Julius, with what he has to deal with right now, would be able to, but Ash can tell they're extremely intelligent.
Fucking brilliant. Get hunted by one smart thing 1 week and then get hunted by a shit ton of them a couple later.
You make your way around the cliff face, and you find yourself here. Here's the facility.
Alright.
Pequod's wound is still profusely bleeding because it's raining so much that the bandage is wet, the scarf is wet, and it's not holding up. Wounds do need to stay dry, so you're leaving a trail of blood. And Pequod's somewhat come to her senses and said, "We need to get inside," and she points to this building here.
Get her in there. I'm gonna take a look around and make sure there's nothing else we can use, alright?
No, Nod, if you need backup, you call. Understood?
Only once. I'll call, but you make sure you've got her secured first.
Yeah, not a dumbass.
Not losing another person on this mission. Got it.
Understood, sir.
Good.
So, you get inside first, Julius, and you see tech. It looks akin to what you see in Commander Integra's office. Computers, but they look older. And they're still powered. Something's still powering this facility. You can probably surmise geothermal. Lights are on all over the place. Ash. Pequod slumps down wherever you sit her. She slumps down and just looks at the ground, and she's still crying.
Julius is gonna walk over to her, get the hair out of her face, kiss her forehead. Hey, it's very hard, I know, but I need you to breathe for me. I need you to lower your blood pressure. I know. It's happened to me too. It's difficult. He's going to take her hands. But I need you to be my clan leader for me right now, okay?
She smiles slightly and says, only if you promise we go back for.
I will do my damnedest to convince Ash.
She pulls out her med kit, takes the scarf off, pulls up her pant leg. Help me with this, would you?
He helps her.
Backpack all ruined. Ash, what do you do?
He's gonna go into here and take a look around for anything useful.
Okay. So you see the same thing. Looks like the place is still powered. And you see computers. You could see a date and time on the computers. And it's today's date, whatever the date is in the EarthGov calendar and stuff like this. You can definitely operate these computers if you wanted.
I'm gonna sit down and try to see if I can find anything useful, see if I can find cameras, anything. Anything that could help.
You punch in, the admin, whoever was here last, was still logged in. And you see, big surprise, Max Tech Genetic Testing Facility.
Of course.
It's dated 200 years ago. And as you read the 200 years, smashing through the side of this building, think the building's in the Jurassic Park Lost World gas station, the engine place they go to.
Yeah.
Smashing through here is one of these, and smashing through here is one of these.
Okay.
1 sec. Before you decide to stand your ground, if you want to, that's fine. But I do believe in making everything transparent. You were able to tell they're smart. If you really want to try to take them in a straight up fight, by all means.
No. He's gonna see this and he's going to bolt for where they are.
So if they roll a 50, they're all going after you.
Understood.
So you run into the building, you close the door, and you hear the pom pom scraping of claws, stuff like that. And you come in from like a side door, and Pequod sees you coming. What's going on?
There's more of them. Julie's help me barricade the fucking door.
He'll stand up, pat Pequod's head, and start helping him barricade.
So you're throwing, just describe what you're finding, computer tables, anything like that. And surprise, the door starts to budge and you can see through the window and all the shit you're putting on the door. One of them is slamming into the door with his body. They don't open doors. They're slamming in with their body as they would do in real life.
Is there any kind of like technological lock, I suppose, on this door that would prevent them from getting any harder?
If there was, it's most likely been busted open already. And you look down at the ground and you realize you see claw marks on the ground. They've been in these buildings.
Julius, check if there's any way to get out of here. Any other way, a hatch, anything.
Another one starts slamming into this door.
He's gonna push himself against that door and just look around the building.
The raptors themselves, and a couple more show up. One jumps down into the lake. They're making their horrendous pom-pom sound. Pequod draws her Makarov, still crying. Give me a strength check.
Understood.
Both.
Oof.
It's good enough. It's good enough for one of them at a time. So, they hit the door like comes open, and you're able to slam the door back in. And no, I think both of you would. I like to imagine everybody can. Julius and you both see lights hit the building. Headlight of a vehicle.
Oh, what?
Okay.
Looks like this. An old antiquated vehicle. And it comes driving into this raptor. And it crashes into the building, crushing him, letting out a shrill of pain, this raptor. Rolling out of the driver's seat is Sasha, still alive. She looks beat up and scratched up to hell. This raptor runs at her because it saw everything happen. It charges at her and she combat rolls out. So like a combat roll that they do. They teach you. She dodges its bite. She lifts her BR-75. Blows this one's head off. 3 shots in the same hole. Her body movement, she doesn't move, she snaps. Her ranger training kicks in. 3 shots into the head of this one. This one lets off your door, Ash, and comes running at her. This one catches itself from missing the bite. She pitches backward what looks like some type of black glowing grenade, and he swallows it, and she runs over here as it chases her. She's able to grapple up on this small shed, imagine. She can run up it and spin in the air as this thing explodes, dodging the explosion damage, landing as this one comes behind her, picks up her BR, she flips it in the air as she's falling, catches it in one hand, spins around, and baseball bat swings this one's lower jaw, dislocating it, and it falls to the ground, writhing in pain. This whole time this has been going on and you're watching, I don't know about Julius, but the only thing Ash can think is, oh my god, she's just a cadet. And you've noticed there's a small red light flashing on her back. Pequod notices her. She screams her name. She looks around, and whatever strings of adrenaline were still keeping her going, she reaches her hand out to the building you guys are in, and right into the mud and faceplant.
Yeah, she's gonna bolt out. Keep her here, just in case more.
And more come.
Alright. Take a step there. Alright. No hiding this time.
You
ready?
pick her up, throw her over your shoulder, I presume.
Mm-hmm. Get her in the room, drop her, and then pull the shotgun out, getting ready to fight.
At this time, they've been letting out screams and screams, and you hear the scraping and scuttling of their noses hitting the buildings around you, and you can hear them jumping up onto things just from ground up. They're that agile, jumping onto things. None of them are in the building yet. They are most definitely probing for weak points in your defense. Slowly but surely. They're not trying to get in, they're probing. And they're moving freely around your building with these 3 watching.
Okay. Alright. If any get in, take them out. Don't let him get to them. Can he see this one through the window?
Yes.
We ain't getting out of this without a fight. Alright? He's gonna put the barrel of the shotgun out the window, and he's gonna try and shoot the thing.
Go for it. Picks its head up and looks in at you. Its eye opens.
Let me
The
find
classic Jurassic Park eye shot.
finding the right one. I'm gonna put a grit in for advantage to make damn sure it hits.
Head explodes a la Alien. Kill the goddamn door or whatever it says, Head explodes, and the sound of the explosion, or the sound of the gunshot, wakes Sasha up. She sits up, like Undertaker style. Ding! She sits up, looks around the room, covered in mud, wipes the mud off of her face, and she's too weak to do anything. She calls for you, Ash. She puts her hand out, weakly calls for Ash, as Pequod is holding her.
Come over, with keeping his face to the door in case something tries to come in. What's up, Sasha?
Ash, I activated my emergency transponder when I went off the waterfall, and she points to the glowing red light on her armor. Help's here. And she pulls up a thing, like holographic image, and you can see a UD-4 dropship over the island. They can't land. Not with the maelstrom. They can't land with the foliage. They're bullfrog ranger troopers. They have jetpacks. You gotta shut the maelstrom off as the raptors close in, and you hear more coming in the background.
Shut it off? What the fuck do you mean?
It's in this building. The shut off. This building. It's the power plant. Do you have an explosive?
We do. We do. Julius? Can I have the bomb that we would... The one we use for... The assault plastique. Can I have that?
I'm faster than you, Ash.
No.
Boom! Slamming into the side of the door, Julius is back up against it.
There's no time to argue here. Give me the damn thing. You stay here and keep them safe.
He's gonna give him the plastique.
Use the rifle, Ash. She points to you and passes out again.
Alright. He's gonna hook the plastique to his belt. Keep him safe. And he's gonna get ready to run out the door. Pick up the rifle, and get ready to bolt out the door.
Okay.
He's gonna start running out.
Go for it.
As he's running out, he's going to try and take a shot at both of these.
Okay. If they land, I won't roll initiative.
Alright, let me find the right one. It's buried here. First shot, I'm using grid for this first one. And that's against 13.
Hits.
Second
Blowing
shot,
his head off.
second shot, same thing against the 12. Sorry, it's taking a sec.
Hit. Oh,
Here.
I was reading the
Here
wrong
it is.
one.
There you go.
Hits right through its mouth, blowing his head off.
And he's going to take his full 30 feet of movement from there towards where he's supposed to go.
And Allah. Greeting you at the door, Jurassic Park style, where the raptor is probably the coolest scene in Lost World, where he jumps in front of, or to Malcolm's side. He jumps down from the roof right in front of you, and he lets out the snarl.
Action surge. Another shot with advantage on this guy.
Randy! Blows him away.
Yep. He can get to here with his full movement. He's going to turn, take his last attack, and aim it. Can he see this guy?
Yes.
Aim again with advantage. He's going to take his last shot for this turn at that.
That kills him. The others have moved in. This one's moved here, started slamming in. I need a strength check from Julius, or he's gonna get in.
It just adds tension, the slowness of roll 20.
Oh, he busts through. Julius goes flying back here. He busts in, lets out the snarl. We will, well, I'll give you one.
Sorry?
Let me see. I'll give you one thing here. Because I said... Let's see. So she hits. And let me check this one's character sheet. He's still up. But she hits him right in the face. Pequod had her gun drawn, so I consider her holding an action. So she hits it as it snarls, and now we will roll initiative.
Understood.
Oh, damn it.
Interesting. Alright, well. Not to be a jerk, but biology is biology. Lands a swift... She has a health pool. I probably should have put it on, but I'll put it on in future missions where she's at risk. He lands a swift bite on poor Pequod's shoulder, digging into her flesh, and she lets out a scream of pain. Now, the other ones have to line up since there's only... Wait, I gotta measure movement speed. Well, actually, it's a raptor. What am I saying? The other ones begin lining up since there's only one entrance that's open. These two. Alright, so this one's able to bust in. This one fails. He smacks against the side of the building. That'll take his turn trying to bust in. Ash, you hear more of them coming. Like, way more. And from all directions, you're hearing the boom, boom. And they sound louder and bigger. And you catch a glimpse of one. He slides out into the village onto the pool here. And he looks louder, bigger, and older. And you hear the exact sound he's making following. Lots of them.
Okay.
Now it's your turn. These guys here are out of play. This one doesn't get to go till next.
All right. Looking in the building, does he see any type of generator?
You see geothermal power generators. Yes. And computers and all the good stuff.
He's gonna run up, attach the explosive to it. Run to there, so he's a little ways out. Swap to his pistol, and he's going to take a shot at it. I'm assuming I'd use the combo attack roll for it?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. That works.
All the computers' geothermal power go up, and smoke, flames, and explosions. Startling this one, he looks over at the building exploding. The explosion blows you out here into the water. Julius, go.
Alright. Shooting a poison dart at that one. The 15 AC that got through.
Okay. It hits him, and he's like, he's in the raptor pose, hunched over, claws up, and you just see him take a step. He blinks twice, shakes his snout, and falls over onto the ground. He will not survive the poison dart.
And then bonus action to attack 2 martial arts attacks against the one right in front of me.
He's got Pequod lifted off the ground, jaw in her shoulder.
Hold on, I'm trying to find the one without my right
Poor
arm.
Pequod.
Only one hit for 5 damage.
Okay.
And then that'll be all.
Sasha's able to come to. Shoot this one. Helping you finish it off. And we're back to the top of the initiative order. Unfortunately, we're all going to share the same token. Because they're the older one. Stronger one. Ash, as you lift yourself out of the lake water. Or pond water. Oh, that's too close. More and more are showing up. Surrounding their quarry.
Fuck.
Interestingly enough, before they go, so I imagine you lift yourself up and you see them surrounding you, and they're all looking at you because you're out in the open. As these ones are, I like to imagine they're snapping at each other, fighting over who gets to go in first because they catch the smell of Pequod. There's a flash of light. It's just like for half a second. And then it sounds like 600-700 little micro bursts go off. And there's an even greater flash of light. Louder than ever. And when it subsides, you're deafened, you can barely hear or see, but you see all these things on the ground, and they're stunned, basically. Everyone on the map is stunned. And you see these 3 strange-looking fucking characters. In armor you've seen before, with these gigantic backpacks on. And the one in the middle is waving some type of white flashing strobe light. And you can just barely hear from the, you're deafened by the explosion sound. Come on, let's go! Let's go, let's go! And he's waving at you, Ash.
Alright, he's going to bolt back in here and pick up Sasha. Let's get the fuck out of here.
You take her shoulder. She is grateful for you. You move out together. Yep. Pequod cannot move on her own volition.
Come on, Julius.
I do think that because Julius just thought he was gonna die, he is kissing Pequod, and he wises up, picks her up, and moves out, like double dashes out.
A couple of the raptors up here come too, and these guys clean them the fuck up. One fires what looks like some type of railgun attachment on his shoulder, blowing this one apart. This one lets loose a volley from some type of automatic rifle you've never seen before. This one chucks a grenade behind one in the middle, blowing these ones up. And he's waving his strobe light. This guy comes up to Julius and Pequod, and he says, "Hold her tight, son." He straps a rope around Julius, twirls his finger in the air and puts his thumb up, nods his head back to the guy in the middle, and poof! You jetpack off the island up to same type of dropship that Sasha had.
Ash is gonna see she's going a little slow, try to help pick her up and run as fast as they can.
She tries to push you off of her, Ash. She says, "I'll walk on my own. I'll walk," and then she falls into the mud again. As these two come to, they're cleaned up by these EarthGov Rangers.
Picks her up. There's no time for bravado, and picks her up completely and tries to get to them.
They come up to you. This one grabs her, puts some type of rope device around her waist. Found a good way to get yourself in trouble, huh, Sasha? Going up, puts his thumb up, and you hear her say, "My dropship." He's like, we got it on autopilot back to Gateway. Just hold on. They go up. This one comes up to you. "Is there anybody else?"
No, just the 4 of us, sir.
One-way ticket up. Grabs you by the armor. Hold on. And poof. And you find yourself... I have to get my ranger. And you're on their dropship now. Same dropship. It's a Cheyenne. Pequod is escorted to the medbay, as well as Sasha. The Rangers go in and start tending to them. And I'll put you guys here. And this guy's standing here in between you guys, takes off his helmet, revealing he's a Tabaxi. Hell of a fight.
That it was. Jesus fuck. Takes his helmet off and just drops it as he slumps on the wall. That was too close.
I agree. And he kind of scratches his ear. Are you two okay?
Fine. You okay, Julius?
Julius is laying on the floor, tearing up, just like, "Yeah, fine."
What's wrong with him? Points over his shoulder. Or is he not used to combat?
He's got a crush on a pilot, and she's hurt. Stressful
She'll be okay. Don't worry, son. Puts his hand on Julius's back.
He is going to stand up, take the guy's hand that is on his back, gently move it off. He's just going to pat the guy's shoulder and walk away.
Oh, don't walk away. You can go to the medbay and see her if you got a crush on her.
He immediately turns around and walks to the medbay.
They'll let you in. This guy walks up to you, Ash, puts his hand out. Shock Trooper Rangers, Bullfrog, 102nd Division. Nice to meet you. What's your name?
Private Asharion Valoris of the Headhunters, sir.
Romeo.
Romeo. Pleasure to meet you, sir.
No need for a salute. He waves the salute off and puts his hand out. He wants a hand.
Shakes his hand.
Took any longer to get rid of that maelstrom, we were just going to come down through it. But to be honest, from our scans, it would have taken out our jetpacks, so we probably just would have added to the problem.
Got it done as quick as I could, sir. Just had to worry about those two.
Oh, you did a good job. I'm impressed.
Thank you, sir. I'm more impressed at you. We wouldn't have survived if you'd been a few seconds later.
You guys are headhunters, right?
Yes, sir.
Sasha mentioned something about going on her trial mission, earning her ranger status, full status from cadet. Said she was going to meet up with some headhunters.
That'd be us. Hell of a fucking trial.
Yeah, not to press for information, but did you get anything from that facility? 'Cause I really don't want to go back there. He's kind of chuckled.
Aside from whatever my helmet picked up, I didn't get shit, sir. A little too busy up. More pressing matters, you see.
Let's run the playback.
He's going to be narrating it as he shows the footage. We got to a bridge. Sasha had us information. There was... Both her and I got the sense something was off, but she was on alert the whole time. When we got to the bridge, one of those things attacked Pequod. Sasha tackled it, fell off a waterfall, disappeared. I got us to get Pequod up. We got her to that village, barricaded the room. I went to see if I could find anything of use. A bunch of them attacked. We got in the room. We're overrun. Sasha came barreling in some kind of in some old vehicle. Took out a bunch of them, passed out. Told me about the Maelstrom generator. I got Julius to stay there, keeping them safe. He's still out of breath at this point.
He hands you a canteen.
Thank you. Takes a drink. Had Julius stay there recovering it as I bolted, blew the generator, and, well, about 5 seconds later you got there, sir.
Well done. He's watching the recording on from your helmet cam right there. And he points, Max Tech Genetic Testing Facility. Sounds about right.
It's always those fuckers.
You could say that again. He shakes his head, hands you an MRE.
I'll eat that in a moment, sir. Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, everyone got out. Mostly okay.
Julius comes into the med bay. These two finish tending to them. They don't tend to them with tech or anything. They're rangers. Some of them are trained in magic. They cast Cure Wounds on Pequod. Her wounds heal, but she's still sore and beat up and tired and stressed and scared. And Sasha is able to get up on her own. She's beat up to hell and scratched to hell. They're tending to Sasha's open wounds, and you hear her as you come in. She says, "No, we'll report back to Raven Rock. I have a responsibility to report this to the commander, considering the fact I almost got them all killed." And the ranger says, "All right, I'll set course for Earth." And he walks out, comes up to Julius. "They'll be okay. Don't worry." And he walks out. And you can see Julius, this one walks out, nods at you. And you can see Julius, they're holding hands, Sasha and Pequod, in separate beds, but they're able to reach each other. And Pequod is still somewhat lucid and scared.
He's just gonna sit down in the room and bury his hands in his face, or his face in his hands, and bounce his knee. He just wants to be there to make sure they're okay.
Pequod, she says, "Wait, I still have one." And she pulls out a potato, and it's still steaming hot. And Sasha goes, "Pass. Please pass." And she leans back into the bed, and Pequod pitches the potato to Julius.
He's gonna catch it and might as well start eating it.
Back to the ranger leader and Ash. Well, I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed. Don't see headhunters off Earth very often.
often, sir, but she asked for help and I was happy to do. Well, we were happy to do so. He's starting to, calm down now. Jesus Christ.
Well, I'm glad you were there. Otherwise, I don't think it would have ended well. This should be good enough for the general. Oh, I don't think she thought this place was this dangerous. I'll have a discussion with her about it, and I'll include your exemplary performances, both of you, in my field report, if that matters to you.
Appreciate it, sir.
As I'm sure Sasha will. All things considered, I know it seems like a mission failure for her, but this will be considered as a success, I'm sure. This is all we need right here. And he points to the Max Tech. This explains everything.
And I'm sure getting away alive makes it more of a success. No casualties.
No casualties? And guess what we get to do? Go up to the bridge. Nuke the site from orbit, son. Only way to be sure. Puts his helmet back on and chuckles as he walks off.
Nuke goes up to the bridge as he says that.
These two, they're looking at a display of the island below them. You're up in the stratosphere, though, and they have a control panel. This one kind of steps back. Ah, what are you doing up here?
I was told we were going to nuke the site from orbit by Romeo?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Small tactical nuke. Not going to cause a lot of lasting damage. Definitely won't cause any damage to the settlement that's relatively close to the island. But this island is going bye-bye. He hands you a small remote control. Go ahead.
You need to pick it up and press it.
You're watching a live feed from a camera at the bottom of the dropship. You see something drop, and you see the island and get wiped off the map. When the dust settles, there's nothing left but ocean and rocks, and some floating raptor debris.
Oh, that'll do it. Just gotta hope nothing ever got off that thing.
Well, my guess is Max Tech does this a lot. They set up these stupid facilities. Strange there's one in the Milky Way, albeit. But they set up these facilities, get themselves into trouble, because they're morons. And if they're nice enough to leave a security measure behind to keep whatever they were fucking within, they'll do so. Otherwise, it just becomes EarthGov's problem. But, yeah. This isn't the first we've found like this, though. Whatever those creatures were, never seen anything like those.
Smart as all hell. Scary, too.
Do you know what they were? This one asks you.
He wouldn't know what they are, right?
No, and he's asking you as if you know. He doesn't know either.
Not a clue. Reminds me of fucking wyverns.
Should scan your helmet footage when you get back to base. We're taking you to Raven Rock. Sasha insists she report to your commander. She feels responsible. That being said, you should scan your footage with your commander. Figure out what those things were. Some type of bioweapon, I assume.
I'd assume. Gods. Well, thank you to both of you. Wouldn't be here without you.
Thanks for taking care of Sasha.
Again, did my work. I was there to make sure she makes it out alive. It's my job.
This one pats you on the back, and this one puts a hand out.
Shakes it.
We'll be back on Earth in a few hours. I suggest just relaxing. Head to the med bay, chill out. Everything's fine and under control. They take off their helmets, revealing a human, and this one is much shorter than the other one, a dwarf, and they walk off to go relax.
Gonna make his way down to the med bay.
Pequod has passed out. Sasha's still sitting up. You get in. How did the rifle do for you, Ash?
Beautifully. Hands it back. Still a bullet left. And puts it over with her.
Keep the bullet. You headhunters, you take trophies. Keep the bullet. It won't net you a trophy in the base, but you should keep it. It's your lucky bullet.
I will, thank you.
That was a nifty trick, blowing up the power station.
I'd like to say it was.
Those things were like Velociraptor.
Velociraptor what, ma'am?
Well, they're dinosaurs. Or they were. And she's typing on her wrist computer, and you see pages from like EarthGov Encyclopedia. They were on Earth a long, long, long time ago. Fossils of them have been found on Earth. I have no idea why they were on that island.
I might be able to shed some light on that. And he pulls up, a hologram of the screenshot that he took of.
Ah, Max Tech. Those goons.
Yeah, those fuckwads. Yet another thing that makes our life hard.
She looks at Julius eating the potato. I've actually changed my mind about that, and she sees Julius finishing it. Ash, do you have anything to eat?
Hands her the MRE.
Thank you.
Yeah, good. You pincushions feeling alright?
Pequod wakes up. Clan leader. Need ice cream.
We'll make sure we get you some on Raven Rock, alright? He kind of walks
Sounds
over.
good.
Walks over and ruffles her hair.
She gets out of bed, staggers over to Julius, clan leader, hero, and collapses on Julius's shoulder.
He's gonna maneuver her so she's more comfortable on his chest and pets her head.
Gives them some room, sits down on the edge of the bed next to Sasha's. Well, I'd say at least one thing turned out really well on that mission.
What's that? As she's digging into the MRE.
Well, lover boy here has a lover girl.
Well, seems that way. You know, Ash, you'd make a good ranger. Quick on your feet.
Maybe. I wouldn't be opposed to it at all. I want to be one of the best. And from what I just saw, you guys are some of the best.
She shakes her head. Yeah, I can't say I really know what happened. When I saw that thing attacking Pequod, something just snapped. And I took it off the cliff, knowing there was a cliff there. And then I found that vehicle, after I drowned that stupid thing. Had to climb up a cliff face, get back to the main road, found another vehicle, and crashed into the village. It's all, she looks at her hands, kind of a blank as to why I did what I did. I suppose it's the training.
Training? I'd say it's, the same reason I stupidly ran out when there were God knows how many things out there and blew up the building. It's equal parts training, instincts, adrenaline, and maybe a little bit of stupidity.
He reaches into the MRE bag and pulls out Reese's Pieces. Yes! And opens them and starts eating.
Damn well don't know if I'd have been able to do that. You're something else. Sits back.
She shoves her mouth full of Reese's Pieces. Or try as she's crunching them. She swallows it. By the way, you guys came recommended by Major Lasley. Do you think she'd sign my scrapbook and let me take a picture with her?
That one's a rough one. I'd say, what do you think, Julius? Her odds are at best 50-50 on that.
He says, whispering, as to not wake up Pequod, 60-40.
Yeah. You can try.
I'll take those odds if I'm allowed to stay.
I ain't got a problem with it, do you? We're planning on heading over to train with her in the not-too-distant future.
I've always wanted to meet her. Puts up a finger, and time has elapsed over time. This guy comes up. We're entering Earth's atmosphere. We'll be back down at Raven Rock in 15. Get yourselves ready.
Thank you, Romeo.
Do either of the girls need help off the ship? Sasha stands up. No, I'm good. Pequod is still asleep. He looks at her. Suppose that one will. And he just kind of walks away.
He's gonna walk over, pat Julius on the shoulder, pull him in. You did damn good. Thank you.
He just nods, not really believing it because Pequod got so hurt, but he'll just accept the compliment.
Believe it or not, as I keep saying, you really are something special, Julius.
No, you're the special one, Mr. Blow Up the Geostorm Thermal Detonator, whatever the hell it was called.
Any dumbass can plant a bomb and press a button.
You make your way to Raven Rock. The Rangers accompany you in to Commander Integra's office. They're just like this. The captain of the team is in front of her. She is fuming and furious. And this guy, I understand, ma'am. But please, you guys come in as this conversation is happening. I understand, ma'am, but please, I think that facility, whatever was on that island, was underestimated by the general. And I'm sure she would extend her apologies. She slams her fist on the desk. Almost got my headhunters killed! And for what? And Sasha steps up, salutes, and I sincerely apologize for not doing enough research, ma'am. This guy kind of steps back, and Commander Integra, she puts her cigarette out, and she says, I suppose you did all you could. I'm just glad everybody's back. And as she says that, Thomas busts into the room, and he spins around. Suspicious Rangers detected. She screams at the top of her lungs, Thomas, get out! And he runs away. And the Rangers say, your headhunters performed well. Exceptional performance. These two wouldn't have made it off the island if it wasn't for them. And I know. Of course they did. They're my headhunter. And they kind of, well, if it's all the same, we'll take our leave. And they kind of awkwardly leave because she's very pissed off. And as they're leaving, they board their dropship. Sasha's already back to Gateway. And they take off, not waiting for Sasha.
I'd like to say it was the hardest thing we've had to do, but I'd actually probably be lying if I said it wasn't. Could have been worse. At least we're all alive.
She smiles. I'm glad you're all alive. She walks up to Pequod, inspects her over. You know, her pilot clothing and stuff still has the teeth mark and tears and stuff in it. Seems the Rangers did a good job at taking care of you. Pequod nods with a smile. That's the least they could do. Sasha's still standing at attention. I want to apologize again, ma'am. Commander Integra, no, it's fine. It's part of the job. I'll have you know, your Ranger General has already extended her apologies to me. And I'll also have you know, she's planned to make you a full-fledged Ranger. She kind of jumps back in shock. I figured the mission was a failure. No, apparently thanks to, she points it at Ash, the mission was a success. Would you care to explain, Ash?
Well, pulls it up. We were sent to find out what was going on the island. Turns out it's our good friends, Max Tech, playing with things they shouldn't again.
They do like to play God.
Fucking dumbasses. 200-year-old Max Tech facility. Wonderful.
Raptors. She pulls up a holographic image of a velociraptor. Prehistoric creatures. I suppose there's some military tech to be found in them? Combat assets? Honestly, I don't know.
They're smart as all hell, ma'am. And if they're smart like that, they can be trained. I'd see, use them as an even scarier version of dog units. Canines.
She's watching some of the combat footage back, pauses it on when Sasha jumps off the cliff. Do you care to explain this reckless behavior? Sasha says, my friend was in trouble. I was responsible. I took full responsibility, ma'am. Knowing you could have died from the drop. Yes, ma'am. And she smiles. And very well.
Can't say it's any worse than me running out into a group of like 12 of those with a bomb, ma'am.
True. Either way, I'm just glad everybody's back. Before you go to Lazuli, Sasha interrupts, do you think she'd sign quiet? She puts her hand down. Before you go to Lazuli, rest up a day or so, then you may go. That's my only requirement.
Understood, ma'am. Thank you.
Would you sign my scrapbook? She cuts you off. Sure. And then she snaps a picture of her and Commander Integra, and she's like shocked by the flash of the old camera. Thank you. And she walks out of the office with Pequod.
If I can have one request, can we make sure Pequod gets herself some ice cream? Ice
cream. She rubs her chin. You know, Ash, you came recommended by, she walks over here, Major Lazuli herself. Why don't you ask her for ice cream? She pats you on the shoulder, dismissed, and she walks out to the mess hall.
Alright. Looks at Julius. You doing alright now? Had a chance to calm down?
Yeah.
You did good. They might have gotten hurt, but without you, they would have gotten a lot more hurt. Pequod ain't here without you. We don't have everyone survive without you, because there's no way in hell they could have defended that building while I blew that.
He's gonna rub his face. Yeah, right. Sure.
Gonna jerk his head around a bit, and... well, you got to be the hero who saved the girl and got his kiss.
He is going to grab Ash by the chest armor, pull him in close. I want to say that again, gun boy.
Oh, Lazuli coming through in him. That's great.
Hey, I said what I said. You got to be the hero for your fair maiden. And he's gonna look in with the dumbest smirk on shit-eating grin on his face and gently pat Julius's cheek.
Oh, Julius raises his fist up to Ash's face and just barely touches his knuckles to his cheekbone. Okay. And he steps away, trying to calm down.
Hey, look on the bright side. I have to be really sweet and romantic to a vampire girl, or Lazuli's gonna turn me to space dust. So we're even.
Yeah.
I gotta figure out that shit.
I can help you, you know.
No. I think with something like this, it's gotta come from me. From the heart, you know. That sappy philosophical bullshit.
Yeah, alright, but, you know, if you have any questions, I do have some experience.
Maybe. Either way, let's get to resting.
So you take your day's rest. In the time that's elapsed, Commander Integra calls you guys all to the office again, knowing you guys are going to leave to go see Lazuli. And you guys have all palled around together. So she called you all in an unofficial capacity. And I just would like to let you know, Ranger Barris, she types on her wrist computer, you've been given weekend leave. Your Ranger General would like you to think about what you'd like to do further. Frontier Ranger or Shock Troop. Take the weekend off. You can go see Major Lazuli if you choose to, if you think you're cut out for her training. Otherwise, have fun. She walks up to her. No more raptors. Understood? Yes, ma'am. And she puts a potato in her face, hitting the cigarette hanging out of her mouth, and she, thank you, grabs the potato and walks off.
Gonna salute Sasha with a shit-eating grin on his face.
She looks at you. The potato gets them every time. Even works on the general.
Oh, it's incredible. I might have to steal that.
You should try it. Pequod chimes up. I can get you one of these potato heating thermoses.
I take you up
You
on
should
that.
try it.
I'm not trying it on Lazuli. You can, but I'm not.
Oh, please do, Ash. Pequod says, please do, Ash.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. You might, but I'm not.
Sasha says, I'll try. Why not?
Go ahead. You guys ready?
Yes.
Let's go. Maybe Saris will be there. Alright.
Bird the vertibird, board the vertibird. Sasha takes shotgun. Best of friends, her and Pequod. She's supposed to be up here this week. And she sees you guys approaching. She sees the vertibird landing. So she comes up and she sees 4 of you and she looks inquisitively at the 4th one. And she comes up to you guys for a change. And she walks right to this one and she says, looks at Ash and Julius both, don't you two just get all the cute little ladies.
A compliment from you. That's rare.
Sasha looks visibly nervous. She pinches Sasha's chin between her thumb and index finger, or whatever this is called, and she says, My, you're the cute little thing. What are you? Ranger Sasha Barish, or my cadet. I can't remember. No, I'm a ranger. And she salutes again, and she presents a potato right to Laslie's face. Her face snaps back, looking at the potato, and she thanks and takes the potato. Why is the skin still on it? The skin's good for you, ma'am. Eat it. Sure. She breaks the potato open and looks at it, sniffs it, and takes a bite out of it. It's okay, I guess. Does she always do this? And she turns and looks at you guys.
From what we've known of her, yeah.
Julius just has a surprised look on his face. Oh my god, it does work.
Ranger Cadet, as she wipes some potato off of her bottom lip. I assume my recommendation went through then, huh? Yes, ma'am. We performed my mission, and I got promoted to a full-fledged ranger, thanks to Julius and Ash. She nods. I expect no less. What are you doing here? Do you want to train, or a ranger has nothing to prove to me? And she, I just wanted to come and see if you'd sign my scrapbook. Pulls out the scrapbook and presents it to her. She looks down at it. I don't do autograph. Well, it's not an autograph, it's just a memory scrapbook. Oh, and I want a picture of it. Leslie looks at her. Sure. And she, where would you like me to sign it? This page? And then she jumps and snaps a selfie with her. Pequod jumps into it, and she's shocked by the flash. She blinks twice and shakes her head. Okay, don't do that again. And she walks over here. They're back in their original position. Well, you can come and watch. We're going to do some extensive sparring today. Stands in between you guys. Tell me about your mission. A resounding success. Promoted to Ranger.
We went to an island on a remote moon of Pluto. It was surrounded by a maelstrom. When we landed, we got onto the island itself. On the way there, we were attacked by, believe it or not, fucking dinosaurs.
She doesn't look shocked.
Pequod was injured. Sasha here leapt off a cliff in a waterfall, attacking the thing that attacked Pequod. We picked up Pequod, got to a village.
How was she injured? And you notice she starts inspecting Pequod.
Bite to the leg, ma'am. She'd later on, in a separate assault of them, get a bite to the shoulder. Backpack.
She kneels down and lifts up both pant legs on Pequod, looks at her leg. As you're saying this, she's doing this. She pulls her pilot suit down, looking at her shoulder, and Pequod's looking at her strangely. And she, do you care about me? No, I don't. And she steps back.
Kind of as she's pulling the pilot suit down, keeping his eyes away so as not to be disrespectful or anything. We got to a building, a facility on the island. Found out that it was, again, our favorite people, Max Tech, playing with things they shouldn't be. Got attacked by a ton of them. We found out that, from, again, Sasha here, that there was a geothermal plant on the island powering the maelstrom on the outside. She had activated her distress beacon. I blew the... While Julius kept them safe in a building, I ran out and blew the power plant, and then Rangers came down to pick us up, ma'am.
This whole time she's been looking Julius over in the same fashion, moving bits of his clothing around, inspecting him for wounds. And as you've concluded, you've noticed, albeit it's probably scary, she's been doing the same to you. Listening to you, not ignoring you.
We managed, with what few injuries we sustained, to get out with no casualties, and found out what the hell was going on the island. So I'd say that's a success, ma'am.
And you're feeling up to training?
You know it, ma'am. Always.
Excellent. And she closes her fist when she says excellent. Follow me. Sasha pulls out another potato. Pequod pulls out her little grill. You walk to the same familiar place. Here we reside. Lazuli points up to the cliff face here, or the hills. They go up there. They start grilling and cooking. She steps up here in front of you. Today's a bit different. Today, she has a case, just like the case from a couple sessions ago. She kicks it and it opens, and there's a jetpack inside, not a thruster pack. Come pick this up, Ash.
Does what he's told, picks it up.
You put it on, same movement speed, it just allows you to fly high, pretty much is why you're getting it. Today, we are going to spar. Her closed fist goes to an open fist, and she looks at both of you. 2v1, and I want you two to hold nothing back.
Mom?
Nothing back. Every trick you've learned, every tactic you have at your disposal. No training pistols, Ash. Everything. And that same goes for you, Julius. Every ability you can use here, I want you to use it. And her fist closes again, and it's tightening. This will be fun. And she smiles. You both are ready for this.
Okay. I have all my grit and actions.
Everything's
back.
back. Yep, everything's back.
Alright, ma'am. Puts it on.
And you see, she points up to the sky, but we're not fighting down here. We're fighting up there. And she flies up in a straight line.
Alright.
You see Pequod hand Sasha a pair of binoculars, and Pequod pulls out another one. Sasha waves, "Good luck!" And Pequod waves, "Best of luck!"
Gods, we're gonna need it. Puts the jetpack on, takes a sec to figure it out, starts sputtering up.
Fly up. There you go. You fly up here. No lightning yet, but you're just above the cloud line. They can see you because of thermal vision and their binoculars. And you're flying. She points to you, Ash. Keep your helmet on at all times. You channel your Kai. You'll be able to breathe at this height. Pointing to Julie. She flexes out her arms now. Like I said, as she's flying back, puts her hand down to the earth. She fires off a Kai blast, but you're so high up you don't know why she's even doing it. So she flies up a little bit from the force of firing it off. And she closes her hand and lifts it up, and you see these gigantic pieces of the lake below. There'll be just a picture of a boulder for you, floating up in the air with you. Perhaps the realization of horror dawns on you now. Hold nothing back. Understood? Closes her fist again.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's get started. Initiative.
Oh man, I didn't click my token.
Oh, her AC is actually wrong here. It's 22 on the last two, but never updated here. Okay, there we go. I don't know why. You're not full health on my screen either. Oh well, whatever. Are you full health on your screen, Julie?
Yeah, full health.
I'm gonna refresh. I think it's just my things lag behind. Okay, yeah, there we go. Okay, so she flies out here, and she says, "Show me all that teamwork, all that chemistry, and one more time, hold nothing back." And she's looking right at Ash. And she's gonna do the step dodge they do in Dragon Ball. She step dodges around you guys, like so, in a circle, and she stops here. Go ahead. That will conclude her turn.
Oh, that's always a fun sign. You know what? Hold nothing back. He's gonna throw the plastique at her.
Oh, shit.
Ice.
Yep, I'll roll. I rolled it. I'll try again. There we go.
So Julius and throws it. She sees it coming, puts her arms up. The explosion goes off, and she goes knocking back here. It hit her. Smoke clears. She has her arms up. You see the silver aura around her. All right.
All right.
And then, just a question. That uses my action, correct?
No, you can keep going. In this instance, fight. She wants to fight you. She wants you to fight.
All right. She isn't even done anything. I'll spend a key point to limit break.
Go for it.
I do that. The fire and smoke comes out of his room, and he right in front of her.
Swing away. Okay, so you she's dodging, but your strikes have gotten at least where she is right now in her power scale, what power she's outputting. She is struggling to dodge your strikes. They did miss, but she's struggling to dodge them. She isn't just casually standing there moving her head. She's actually dodging. She has a smirk on her face the whole time.
All right. That's all he can do.
All right. Bolts to here. And well, got nothing else to do but pull out pistols and go shooting. 1. Damn. And 2. Alright. 3. Oof. You know what? Hold nothing back. Action surge. One. That was the wrong thing. That was a misclick, sorry.
Nick done healing her.
And spend a grid for advantage on this one.
So the shots that hit, just like in that one episode of Dragon Ball where they shoot Goku and he's like off guard and it leaves the scrape on. You see her put up her arm and you see 2 scrapes on her arm. And she looks at you and she returns a smirk to you.
Alright, last shot. Alright, let me. 1, 2, 3. No, I already used my last shot. Never mind. Let me mark those 3 down. Gonna look at her, look a bit concerned at the fact that it did absolutely nothing, and get ready for more.
So Julius and her are going to enter a flurry of blows. 3 dex checks, the winner of 2 out of... So just like when they get into those punching matches in Dragon Ball, 3 dex checks. The winner of 3 takes the 19 down. She'll do that one, and that one.
You got it,
Well.
Julius.
Okay, so you take the 19 points of damage. She's gonna fly over here behind the boulder. And Ash, you see her go behind the boulder. You're trailing her in her, in your iron sights. You know, you're following her. I gotta measure something. So it won't be Julius, even though the description says Julius. You see the boulder come flying at you. You're in the sky. There's a lot of space. You see it come ramming at you. Just you. He's not in range.
All right.
You make it. So you dodge the boulder. It goes flying into here. And she looks at you and she nods, concluding her turn.
All right. Julius is going to up to her and yell out, "Alley-oop!"
Oh!
Oh, shite. All right.
So she is caught way off guard by this. She goes flying up in the air. You use your Kai energy to push her into the air higher because you're in space. And as she goes flying, Ash is bang, 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 bang. And for the sake of this duel, we can say you're reloading now, Ash. So you don't have to start your next turn reloading. That
Okay.
would suck. For the sake of this. And she is still in the air over the rock.
Alright. And then the rest of his forward movement is gonna go right. We'll go right over here.
Your turn.
All right.
You can still see her. She's like in air, like not. Yeah, she's like flying basically, catching herself from what just happened.
Here. Bang, bang. I'll use advantage on the first one.
Shots connect. Her arm goes up, trying to block them.
Alright, what do I do with my bonus action? You know what? Yeah. Take another shot, because I'm doing okay. Missed. Alright, he's going to jetpack to here. Here. That'll be my turn.
Okay. So she flies behind the rock out of sight. She almost as if she was struggling to control herself. She slumps over the rock and disappears. You can't see her. And then she comes out from behind the rock. I'll have to move her. To move the rock. And her tracksuit top is off. Damaged from the explosion of the assault plastique. Damaged from all the gunshots going through it, leaving scrapes on her body. And she has it in her arm. And she's holding it out. So she has like a sports bra underneath. She's holding it out, and she lets it go, and it goes flying off down to the earth. Back down on Earth. Pequod and Sasha watching through thermal binoculars. Pequod says, "What's that?" And it crashes into Pequod, knocking her on the ground. Back up in the skybox. She is looking at you guys, and she takes her jaw and kind of fixes her jaw. Rotates her shoulder, and she says, "That is a pretty nifty set of tricks. Who'd you learn that from?"
Lieutenant Maine, ma'am.
Interesting. Puts her hands out to her side. She starts the ha. Lightning starts to hit around, all around the sky. It's purple. Her silver aura has ignited and gotten stronger, more pronounced. And there's crackles of purple electricity in it. Ash, you have you can read sort of like power ratings in your helmet. Your helmet starts to malfunction. Warning. It's where we are now. And she says, cracks her neck, "My turn." And she's going to God, I can't move the fucking motor. Come over here. And she's going to ha with Kai at both of you, just like in that one video game. And you have to make a dex check of 20 or higher. You take half if you make the check. One way or another, you're getting hit. She's filling the sky with small Kai ore.
Nope.
28 points of damage apiece. She flies over here to Julius and ends her.
Oof. Alright, you know what? She's right in front of him. Why back down?
Nice. Unarmed strike connects in her gut. He lets out a very nice.
Alright. Bang bang time. Ash, give me one moment to think. Realizing things aren't going well with the pistols, he's gonna holster them, pull out the shotgun, move to there, and 2 shots with advantage. Where is it? That's the right one, I think. Yeah, 3d8. Damn. And bonus action. he'll use the heal gun on Julius. If I can find where it is in my stuff. There it is.
As you roll it up, you fire the heal gun off, and you see a small orb of energy. And you think back, you don't need to roll like a wisdom save or anything like that, but you think back to the beginning, where she was step dodging around you. Now you realize what she was doing. There's all these small little Kai mines in a circle all around where the duel started. And it's right in front of your chest. This one right here. I'll have to do one at a time, but... And she's activated them now, so you're trapped in the circle. And they are slowly making their way towards you.
Alright, can't really do anything now. That is, I believe, I started here. Do I have any movement? I got 5 feet of movement. I'm gonna move back up the rock a bit.
On top of the rock?
Yeah.
That's fine. That's good. So she's gonna grab Julius by the scarf thing he wears, and she's gonna say through her teeth, "Heal yourself," and push him away. She's gonna turn to you, Ash. Fly through her Kai mine. She's not in front of you. Well, she's in front of you, but she's not in close enough for melee range. She throws a fist out, and you see a shockwave cut through the air, and it hits you in the stomach for 11 points of damage. She never actually connected with it. She just threw a punch, and the shockwave of the punch hits you in the stomach.
I'm gonna eyeless.
Still hit.
Understood.
She spins up a med kit, a needle, some type of EarthGov needle, and sticks it in the exposed skin under your helmet, Ash, healing you to full. Let's keep going.
Gladly.
So she said heal myself. Do I do the
Undying Rage. Pop it.
Yeah.
You're only strong enough to do it here and once per engagement here if you do engage, but you can definitely do it. She wants you to.
It was 25d4, right?
It's a full heal. Yep. Julius heals himself to full, and she concludes her turn by moving out of the Kai mine after she shockwave punches Ash, ending her turn.
Would Julius be able to tell if he'd be able to shoot this over to her, the boulder?
You're strong enough to. You could kick it at her if you wanted.
Boom, gonna kick it.
Okay, let me roll it up so I have to roll her a dex check. We'll just play on the same rules as her spell. She has so much. If she fails, she'll take 25. Okay, so the boulder comes flying. She's shocked by the maneuver. She dodges just in time, and it crashes right here and sputters out, blowing up a couple Kai mine. Just leave it here.
And then, would I be able to shoot a key blast at her?
Yes.
Oh, never mind. I have no key points left.
Damn.
Ash is up.
All right.
If you jump on this boulder, these key mines aren't there anymore.
Yeah, he's going to move. Okay. Let me see. Yep. Move here. Move here. So he's just within range. And let's start shooting. Damn. Okay, miss. Mark that. Boom. Again. Nice. Mark that. And, no bonus actions, so he's just gonna stay there. Stupidly right in her face.
So for the first time, you get a taste of the terror behind this woman, though she has no intentions of killing you. But she lets out a roar. She lets out a scream that sounds more like a roar, like an echoing roar. And now you see this strange, more lightning striking, and you see this strange, what would look like, you're being in Antarctica, you maybe, well, being that you're close to her, you've seen it. It would look like the Aurora Borealis. But your helmet, when it's not malfunctioning, is telling you it's a space-time distortion, Ash, and it's giving you a lot of warnings. You see them appearing all over the sky.
Can I smack the helmet to just try and get it to shut up? about
Yes.
that?
Yes, you can. You most definitely can. And you see she looks right at you, and her eyes glow silver for about a second, a half of a second, real. And all the boulders explode around the map. So the map is filled with all these little boulders, and to get through them, movement speed's reduced to 10. And she's able to fly through them with ease. And she throws her arm out to the side, just like an Ultra Instinct kind of thing. And you see the arm go out, and you're like, what? And Julius just starts getting hit and hit and hit and hit and hit. And she hurls Julius towards you, Ash. You can heal gun him if you want.
I am out of shots for it.
She'll pull one out of her pant pocket and flick it to you.
Alright, I'll pop it.
Be at a resounding 6 HP for his turn.
Oh, God. He's gonna look up at Ash. Gonna pat the helmet. This was a mistake.
You're doing fine. You've got it. You've got it right where you wanna. Go on.
Don't patronize me.
You got her where you want her.
He's gonna move 10 feet forward.
Okay. Her eyes are gonna flash silver at you, and you feel you don't get healed, but you feel Kai going into your body. She's saying, "Hit me." We'll refund all your Kai points.
Oh, wow. Yeah, gonna go with the light key blast.
She dodges it. Aura is way more intense around her now, and her movements are almost impossible to track. I mean, they always have been, but this is... When she moves, when she strikes, when her body moves, it leaves behind a silhouette of space distortion, or Aurora Borealis, which is why Ash's helmet won't shut up.
Mm-hmm.
You're up, Ash.
Alright, he's gonna move here, swap to the pistols, because that's all he's got at this point, and take 3 shots. First one will be normal, because he'll use his last grit to negate the disadvantage.
While you roll those up, was there something else you wanted to do, Julie?
No, I was just chuckling.
So even though these are hitting, Ash, you shoot, and it just seems like you're shooting, but she's not there. And you're sure you're hitting, but she's not there. For the ones that did hit, obviously. You shoot at like a shadow or a space-time distortion silhouette. Like, I got her! And all that's there is, in half of a second, blink of an eye, is the outline of space-time distorted.
Shite. Alright, we got this, We're not gonna die yet. That'll be his
She
turn.
flies in here, and she says, "You got it all right." Elbows Julius. He goes spinning back into Ash. She goes out here, and she hunches down in a stance where she has her arms out behind her, and you see these two very scary looking purple and silver energy orbs forming, and she's letting out her hot kind of thing. She flies in with them. Now, Ash, you're in front of Julia.
Okay.
She hits Julius with a kick to the neck. All you see is her silhouette, and you see Julius his neck go to the left in a very unnatural position. And as he kind of leaves your helmet's field of view, though he's just like right here, see her two hands come up in your face. Oh boy. That energy in her hands hits both of you, Ash, and you start to get blown back down to Earth. She's like, imagine she's like above you. Julius went out of your line of sight. She comes up above and hits you, unleashing this. And you feel yourself going down to the Earth uncontrollably. And you see your handgun start to disintegrate in your hand. Before everything goes black, you definitely feel yourself hit the ice shelf, the ice lake. She's not here. And you guys go through the ice into the murky depths together. And Sasha runs over and leaps in while Pequod looks horrified and saves your lives. Everything's black. You are knocked the fuck out. Your trophies aren't destroyed. Your armor is fucked up. Strangely enough, you wake up, you start to come to, and you're warm. The last thing you remember is getting fucked and blasted into a frozen lake, which is not healthy. But you feel warmth. And you come to with tracksuits on. Julius's is red, dark red. Ash is navy blue. And you're on, if you've ever seen these like super expensive couches where they have each side of the couch is like a mini bed. They jut out from the sides. You guys are on each one. And there's an exoframe standing in front of you, puts his hand over his stomach and bows to you guys. Good to see you're awake, young sires.
Nice to... Yeah, I'm feeling good to be awake. Who are you and where are we?
He comes over, helps Julius up from the laying down position. He says, "My name is Blaze. Blaze 5. I'm Miss Lasley's friend and personal attendant."
Okay.
That was awesome!
He smiles, comes over and picks you up. You're in Miss Lasley's private bunker. You're fine. Don't worry. And it's warm and toasty in here. And something smells really, really good.
Okay. Thank you. He's gonna try to get up. Be in a lot of pain, but just get up anyways.
He helps you up, and he says, "Don't worry, I took the liberty of undressing and dressing you. The ladies didn't have to see any of that, sires. Would you like my assistance to the door?" And he hits a button and the door opens. There's like some EarthGov newsreel on this gigantic TV.
No, I'm fine.
Julius?
Yeah, I can't move my arms.
He picks you up. "Perhaps when you see the young Miss Pequod, you'll have your vigor return to you, yes?" And he helps you out into then this is a lavish bunker. So I like to imagine Raven Rock as like Raven Rock from Fallout. It's very like a bunker in today's world. Very utilitarian. It's very cold in a lot of places of Raven Rock. The food you're in Antarctica. You have the same menu every week, 7 days a week. It's terrible, that's how it is in the military sometimes, especially in postings way out in the sticks of the planet. This looks like a fucking luxury billion credit bunker. And you come out, and Blaze is still helping you out. Pequod's at the table, engorging herself on ice cream and recounting the tale. You see she's playing on her wrist computer a doctored footage of your encounter with the Predator. Sasha and Lasley are watching with great intent. And she's saying, "See, this is the part where he laughed at Julius now." And she notices you guys coming out. "Oh, hi, guys." And she puts the recording away.
Laughed at Julius, indeed. Mm-hmm. Kind of gives her a dubious look.
Leslie steps forward, hands on her hips in a fresh new tracksuit. I gotta say, that was pretty fun. How are you guys holding up?
I'm fine.
Julie, he pushes off of Blaze and looks at him. You are correct, sir. Lazuli, that was awesome. I want to be just like you, honestly.
She smiles at you. One day you can probably be even stronger. Go take a seat, and she points to where Pequod's sitting. As Julius walks by, not bad for a no-name hermit who trains in Antarctica by herself, huh, Julius? And she walks back into the kitchen.
Yeah. I rewrite every word I said, ma'am.
Blaze helps you to the couch. Ash, at this time, you see pictures all over the walls up here. And one of them in particular, right near this couch, catches your eyes. You see, you're not brave enough, I imagine, to take it off the wall. If you want to be, go ahead. But you see a young Lazuli. You see this exoframe, Blaze. You see a bunch of other troopers. You see Suletta, Lazuli's sister, and a man that I've imagined, much to General Rico's chagrin, they post him everywhere, even though he doesn't want to be like that. But you see a young General Rico standing in front of this gigantic, fucked up looking, what looks like the head of a demon, but it's in fact an archfiend. Blaze helps you down onto the couch and walks over here. Lazuli comes over with a huge plate of food, steak, eggs, protein, power protein. She sets it down on the table in front of Julius, sets some silverware down, and she looks over at you, Ash. Good shooting.
Thank you, ma'am. Not that it's laughs, groans because it hurts like hell. Not that it seemed to matter, but I'd say it did all right.
She puts her one hand on her hip. I've taken the liberty of reaching out to your armory master. Your weapons will be restored and your ammo will be refunded to you
Okay.
for sake of our duel.
So put it back to where it was.
Yep. As well as your healing dart. The assault plastique, she puts her hand on the back of Julius's neck. 2 fingers, thumb and index finger, and her touch is actually calming to you. And she starts to lightly massage Julius's neck. The assault plastique was a little telegraphed, but that alley-oop definitely got me good, and she smirks down at Julius.
Oh, thank you, ma'am. Practiced it long and hard just for you.
She laughs, and I don't know if Julius would be able to pick up on this, but Ash definitely probably could. Ash, you're watching her do this. She's always been like this since week 3 with Julia. Well, I like to imagine you guys train with her way more than once a week. You'd have to, but if you were going to train with her, period. But she's always been way more, I like to say paternal, not maternal, instinct with Julius. She picks up items for him. She touches him. She inspects him first if you guys come back with some tall tale of fighting monsters or something like that. Ash finally picks up on it. It's not favoritism, because Julius can be a great fighter, master of Kai, Dragon Ball, Saiyan. It's because she knows he needs it. He needs a more paternal mother figure. It's something lacking.
A smile. Well, he did really well, didn't he, ma'am?
You both did. I haven't had a sparring session that fun. She looks at her fists, flexes her fingers in a long time.
Looks over at the picture. Yeah, I can see that you fought way better than that.
She comes up to the picture. That was taken a long, long time ago. And she chuckled.
I can see, Blaze his in it, and Suletta, and I'm assuming that's General Rico, but anybody else of note in there, ma'am?
No. Most of those soldiers died during the Archfiend incursion, but that is in fact a young Johnny Rico before he became a pencil pusher. She shakes her head, puts up her finger. I'll be right back. Blaze? And he, yes, ma'am, bows to her, disappears down the hallway. And Blaze says, Mr. Valorius, I've taken the liberty of gift wrapping your gifts for the young Ceres. And he walks over here, comes up with the roses, a big box of what looks like eyeliner with at least 200 different types you can choose from. Yeah. Yeah. And a 20-pack of various scented candles.
Thank you. Is she, here?
Yes, sir. She is sleeping right now. She trains exclusively at night. He looks at his wrist computer. The young Sarah should be up very soon, sir.
Good. I'll, have to talk to her in a moment. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Leslie comes back with a tome, like an ancient tome. Book. She sets it down on the table in front of Julius, puts her hand on his shoulder, rubs his shoulder a bit. This is the history of the Order of the Ghost Slayer Blood Hunters. I understand. Probably doesn't mean anything to you. But no knowledge is useless knowledge. Read, rubs his shoulder again, eat, and rest. You've done well. And she walks over here, crosses her arm.
Oh, he's gonna pick up the tome and look at how thick it is. I didn't have a weekend.
Pequod is engorging on ice cream as well as Sasha. That was a great fight, Sasha puts up her finger. Pequod, and keeps eating the ice cream. And she empties the bowl. More, please. Yes, madam. And he walks over to get more ice cream.
That it was. It's unlike anything I've ever quite been in, ma'am.
It was a fun fight. She crosses her arms again, looks at her wrist computer, and she looks down the hall. And she says, just about time. And she walks down the hallway, leaving you guys here.
You see Ash kind of just shift positions, trying to get in kind of more cross-legged and just start breathing.
Sasha looks at Ash. Say it again, Julie.
Ash, it isn't a fight. Calm down.
Oh, no, it's not. I know how to fight. I can keep calm in a fight in a life or death situation. You guys saw that. This is something I know jack shit about.
Blaze puts down 2 more big bowls of ice cream. Ice cream, my young sire. They thank him. He walks away, goes into a familiar looking box over here. Leslie comes back up, stands here behind the kitchen. Blaze opens the box. If you would be so kind, Mr. Valorius, come over here.
Yes. Yes, sir. Walks over.
You notice this, as you get closer, you realize it's your private box from your barracks at Raven Rock that you and Julius share. He opens it, and your 2 old pistols are in it. And Leslie reaches in and pulls out the revolver. Care to explain? And she's holding it up in the air.
I'm, bit of a sentimental old fool, ma'am. Those are the pistols I used back... before Earthgov. Picks up the pepper box. This is Rough Shot. And that is Reception, ma'am.
Pequod feeds a little bit of ice cream to Julius. She shares a little bit as Sasha comes over and looks at them. Wow! Leslie opens the cylinder on the revolver, spins it, and you made these yourself. And she holds it up to the air. She knows how to use a gun. You can see she's very comfortable with it.
Yes, ma'am. Forged them myself.
Blaze looks at her and smiles. She flips the revolver cylinder closed, sets it back down in the box, picks up the pepper box, looks at it, and she says, well, I think it's high time you start using them, Ash, though they'll have to be updated to modern standards. She sets the pepper box back down. Blaze looks at you, and it just so happens Blaze is a master gunsmith. That is correct, sir, and he bows to you again.
He's kind of shocked. Are you serious, ma'am?
Indeed.
I gladly use them. They're important. I appreciate this, ma'am.
Revolvers still have practical use, even in the modern days. This, on the other hand, she points down at the pepper box, this needs to be complete overhauled. Yes, Blaze? That's correct, ma'am. Private Valorius here shows exemplary performance with a 1911. I propose we upgrade the revolver to modern standards, and we upgrade this pepper box here to a 1911 frame. We can keep most of the internal mechanisms, though some of them will have to be reforged, but all things considered, they will be the same weapon. Different shapes and sizes, and he's holding them and showing you.
I kind of smiles. I think that's a good idea. Yes, I think that's brilliant, if you're willing.
Sasha's looking at them. Can I touch them, Ash?
Go ahead.
She picks them up. The revolver's very heavy, and the pepper box seems strangely off balance. Blaze nods in agreement. Yes, ma'am, that is correct. Ash, I'll need scans of your wrists and your hands, if you would be so kind. He puts out his hand.
Puts them out. Go ahead.
We will make these firearms perfectly balanced for your hands and your hands alone. And if you would like, I can even put nanotech guards on them to where only you can fire them.
I'd appreciate that. And they are unbalanced, but you gotta remember, I didn't have any computers to work with. I was basically calling anything, making them by ear.
Pequod mutters, airship, with her mouth full of ice cream, tries to feed Julius more ice.
I made them in a coal forge, Pequod.
She just mutters, airship, again. And Leslie looks at her and laughs. He takes both the guns, puts them back in the box. This will take time. I will work on this in my off time. You understand, of course. I have to attend to things here.
Of course, and crafting anything with making takes time.
And at this point, as you say that, he says, you are welcome to join me in the process when you are here at the bunker, my young sire. As you hear that, there is a yawn let out, and Ceres comes out in her pajamas, boom, right here, in the middle of the room. Leslie looks at her, Blaze, the young Miss Ceres, bows to her. And Leslie, you can stop that. And I quite like the butler protocol, thank you.
Well, he's gonna mutter under his breath. Time to make a fool of myself. It's good to see you, Ceres, as he walks up.
Sasha sits back down. Pequod begins to snicker. She walks up, Ash, and she gives you a hug.
He hugs
Big
her
hug.
back. Hugs her back, although making kind of tensing up at the pain that he's still in. Good to see you.
You look beat up.
Well, you can thank our dear friend over there for that, and motions to Lazuli.
She shrugged.
You look incredible.
Training with Major Lazuli has done wonders for me. She looks much stronger, much more confident. Not a lot more muscle mass. She's undead. She doesn't need muscle mass, but she definitely does not look like the unconfident fledgling. I mean, she did come as a true vampire. But it's been quite a few weeks.
It's incredible. I got your gift.
Gift? What gift? Oh, the shotgun shells. And she remembers, hey, I stole those from Sergeant Hamer. And it's at this time there's a flashback to Sergeant Hamer. Where did I put those shotgun shells?
That explains something. Thank you. They helped.
Did they come in use?
They did. They helped kill some unknown alien hunter.
Space hunters, my young sire. He interrupts you.
Those. But,
Space hunter.
Yep, that's where I got, and he points to the mandible, where I got that from.
Oh, nice. She inspects it. She is impressed.
But,
Leslie clears her throat.
but I got something for you.
For me?
Yep, a gift and a bit of a poorly thought out speech.
Very good, sir. He walks over, picks up the gifts. The young Private Valorius even took the time to gift wrap them for you, ma'am. He presents the roses to her. She looks stunned. He presents the candles to her. She looks stunned again, starts to blush. He presents the mascara kit to her. Leslie walks up here. She looks even more stunned. Oh my god! This kit alone must have been so expensive. Leslie walks up. That's right. Ash slaves away training with me and going on dangerous missions to earn a wage to spend gifts on you. Spared no expense, right, Ash? And she looks at you blankly.
Yes, ma'am. And, there's something I wanted to tell you. I can't say I was 100% honest with you about why I let you feed on me. It wasn't just something as stupid as, better you come back than I do. From the first moment I saw you, I saw something beautiful. I saw a woman of strength, both physical and mental. Someone confident and beautiful. And I think that that is something worth preserving and cherishing. I wanted to keep you safe in that moment because it's not too often that sparks of wonder like that come about in anyone's life. And without sounding too much like a bad romance novel, I'd be honored if you let me have the chance at making a fool of myself more for you. He kind of smiles.
As you finish the word fool, she plants a big kiss on you. Blaze, very good. Claps. Leslie goes back into the kitchen. Pequod looks shocked. Sasha is smiling. I don't know what Julius is doing.
He is. His head is planted in his hands, and he is laughing his ass off.
Pequod grabs you by the back of the neck. Don't get any ideas. And she tries to feed you more ice.
Oh, that's it.
Leslie comes back out with a huge tumbler of water, sets it down in front of Julius. Drink. You need to drink all of this. When you tap into your Kai energy, it drains us. That's why you're so hungry. And you're probably just now starting to get thirsty now that you got some food in you. Correct?
I have no idea. Oh my god, water!
Drink it all. There's more over here. Purified water. Can't get any better. She walks up here, looks around the room. Ceres turns to her, still hugging Ash tightly. But she's looking at Ash's neck with great intent. And Ceres says, I am so hungry. Leslie says, the synthetic blood packs aren't going to do it anymore for you. You need to feed off living creatures. We've been over this. It shouldn't be a problem anymore. Blaze steps up. Shall I get you another deer, madam? And the deer tasted so gamey and gross, and there was a tick on it. Leslie crosses her arms. I've ordered you a shipment of blood from blood donors. That will do. The problem is, and she points at Ash, obviously you found him attractive before you fed on him. She really blushes heavily. And you didn't kill him when you fed on him the first time. Thank God. That being said, you will have the desire to feast off him for the rest of your unlife. Ceres looks at you, looks back at her. It's part of the curse. You're bonded now, one way or another. And Ceres kind of smiles and looks back at Ash. I promise not to eat you.
As long as you don't kill me, I don't mind.
Leslie crosses her arms. You can feed off of him to a 10 count. No more, no less. I need him in shape to train tomorrow. Understood? Ceres, yes, ma'am. And she looks at her. I guess we have to go train now. Leslie looks around the room. Blaze steps over here. She does the most. She tries her best, but she does the most unconvincing yawn. Stretches. I don't know. I'm pretty tired. I think I need the night off. What do you say? Ceres perks up. Just have fun for the night. I need rest. Blaze? Yes, ma'am. I'm going to sub-level 2. She throws up her hand. You take things from here. Babysit. And she turns around. Julius, Ash, we'll resume our training at 0900.
Yes, ma'am. And thank you for everything, ma'am.
She smiles at you before turning away and disappearing downstairs. Pequod yells, "Wait a minute, you cooked for him and not for us?" And Pequod's very angry and she just keeps walking. As Julius got a full course meal, Pequod and Sasha just got ice cream. "I can cook anything you require, madam. I want the same thing Julius got." And Sasha says, "Me too." "As you command, my young sires." And he walks over to the kitchen to continue cooking.
Well, what do you want to do? Looks up at her.
"I just want to relax and have fun and meet whoever this is." She points at Sasha and spend time with you guys. It's been a while. I like to imagine between sessions, couple weeks pass. So,
It has.
yeah.
Sounds like
Sasha introduces herself, goes through all the steps. Blaze keeps cooking, comes out with more food. Pequod slams her fist down on the desk. "What is this sub-level 2 you speak of?" And sub-level 2 is Major Lazli's private bunker. This bunker was designed with guests in mind, my young sire. Guests get sub-level 1, Lazli gets sub-level 2. "Where do you stay?" "Sub-level 2, with the Major." "Can we go down?" "No." And he walks away. Back to the kitchen.
Hey, Cyrus, you want to see something cool?
Yes.
He's gonna walk over. I'm assuming the crate is still here.
Yes.
He's
He
gonna
just
pick it up.
left it like a...
He's gonna grab it. These and opens them. These are the guns I built and learned to shoot on. This hands her the pepper box. This is rough shot, and then the revolver, and this is reception.
You built these?
Yes, I did.
That is quite impressive. Can I touch them?
Pick them up. I don't mind at all.
She picks them up and looks them over. Blaze speaks up. "We're going to update them to modern standards for the young Private Valorian. It will take time. However, I think he will be quite pleased with my work."
I think so.
Blaze steps up here, bows before all of you. "You're free to do whatever you like, free range of the bunker. There's a jacuzzi. There's a large television room that the young sires woke up in. Bathrooms, showers. Miss Saris can show you around from here. Should you need anything, contact me via the intercoms. I will take my leave for now, my young sires and madams." And he walks away. And that will conclude this week's session.